should just stick with the longest running episodic show in 239 history moniker, regardless of whether we miss shows or not. Just keep on saying it anyway.
That's my thing.
Regardless of whether we miss shows or not.
I think Daly just doesn't have the heart and soul if he doesn't get to yell at everybody. Like, it's just not there. I think Daly just doesn't.
No, I'm gonna rip it. I'm gonna do it now. I'm just gonna be like, it's a thing. It's back.
I mean,
I might even throw the reigning defending thing in there.
You guys know we're live, right?
Yeah.
Are we?
What?
Yeah, that happened like 10, 15, 20 seconds ago.
Oh, good. All right.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to another edition of. I don't think I've ever done a throwdown where this is what I. In case you wanted to know, this is what we do before we start the show. So, hold on a second.
Behind the scene peek.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Thursday Throwdown. As always, I am your host, X to the D to the A to the L to the Y, and you are watching the longest running show, episodic show in 239 history. That is the Thursday Throwdown. We've been gone. I don't think last week we weren't here. As you can see, though, from some of the faces on the panel, it's looking like an OG crew tonight. Got the originals out here. I'm getting a text message. I'm assuming it's from a plug who probably will be joining us at some point. That link is fucked and won't work. Okay, Ryan, maybe you can add our guest in here.
Okay.
Good.
I'm esoteric. I'm gonna need your email address. Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
So get the. I mean, you guys. This guy actually runs his own fucking show, if you could believe it or not. Can't work modern technology, but he runs his own show. So sick on him. Shout out to Sober for all that. But the reason that you're here, yeah, I know we're late. I get it. But you're tuning into the top-notch show here. We are about to break down the upcoming draft. You're going to have mocks. You're going to have opinions. Obviously, we're always right. But before we get into that, man, I want to introduce the panel, introduce the guys I got with me tonight. And it starts with none other than Jakub Voracek himself. Pale, how you doing tonight, buddy?
What's happening, guys? I'm excited. It's draft time. We're only 4 days out from the draft. It's crazy that that's like snuck up on us. The finals were just last week, but we're here. Season 8 draft is coming. We've got a lot of pre-draft trades to go over. We've got a couple of new captains to go over. It's an exciting time. This is my favorite time in 239 is the pre-draft and the actual draft. I think it's the best part of the league. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to rip it probably for like 2 hours tonight. So let's get into it. Mark Ferguson, how you doing today?
Good. The only guy that gets called by his full name, me. I'm here. I'm good, man. I'm excited. I think you nailed it, Pale. I had to put a status up, man. I'm excited for the draft coming up. I bitched the admins like 3 weeks ago saying the draft was too far away and it's already here. I mean, it's going to be a fun time. Everybody likes it. Everybody's excited to get on new teams, play with new people, and everybody's good to judge each other for the first week and see who's good or bad. So, it's good. Everybody knows we're going to break it all down for you. We're always right. You heard it already. You hear it again. Let me get you over to the other main man. Ability, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing excellent. I am so pumped and happy. This season 8 is going to be one for the history books. I can feel it already. I have to reminisce on season 7 here. I can't believe another finals went to a game 7. I'm giving a full shout out to Pogs on captaining that team, tooth and nail, getting the job done in the finals. Way to win the championship. Peaceful Bob. Way to go out there and get your first, bro. And a lot of you guys on there surprised me. I mean, float. All of you. I'm proud of all of you. You did a great job. Great season.
Last but not least, man, one of your hosts of the Friday night sober elitist, esoteric. Eso, you got to turn your camera on, Nub. Got to flip it on.
It's not on?
No, it's a black screen. You're literally embarrassing yourself in front of like 50 people. Embarrassing.
What a mess.
All 50 of them? Holy fuck.
I mean, if you can see what I see right now, this is how I picture you every day. Just darkness. That's all I see. Just
okay, man. You know what? All right. Give me a minute. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing.
And this is what happens when you get into your mid-30s. Technology gets you. Listen, it's a thing. So Shout out to SO. Rip his computer. Hopefully he can figure it out. But and all I see is
Now
Obama's
we've got
face. That's all I see.
Obama.
I don't know what the deal is. Maybe my camera don't work. I don't know. This is a new laptop. It's a weird. Well, it's an old laptop. I don't know.
Okay, worst case scenario, you can do it from your phone too. It's a thing.
Fuck off.
Just save
Dude,
everybody from that fucking.
Dude, you're the
guy.
mock draft expert. That's why you're on this panel tonight, man. We need the analysis. I think didn't you go like 12 for 14 one year? It was something stupid. So
Yeah, it's pretty good. Give me a minute. I'm out of here. I'm gonna fix this.
all right.
So just click on the gear up in the top right and select your camera.
And select your camera.
There's a
All
drop
right, well,
down.
here's the thing. Ryan's gonna get with him because Ryan's kind of the tech guy. Esso's kind of a so we're gonna get after that. But I think Ryan just touched on it a little bit. Shout out to Pogs, man. He's been here, I want to say since season 4, maybe. Yeah, Pale. By the way, Pale Poner knows all your 239 trivia. Like he knows everything. It's insane. Like it's literally insane. He is like the 239 historical guru. Hashtag Pale Poner. Hashtag History Channel. Hashtag Pale Knows All. Those are things. As always, I'll have my Twitter up and running at OldDad21. But shout out to Pogs. A lot of guys getting their first cup surprised me. Floaty, Master America was on that.
Stop fucking it up. Rewind. Rewind.
What?
Say his name
Everybody
right.
was first timers. Okay, cool. So let's get. I mean, I was gonna name. Mr. Ferguson. I was gonna name everybody on the goddamn team, but you know what? Now, guess what? You guys don't get it because
Say
Marky,
his name
Marky,
right. You have to. You can't
All
just
right.
disrespect the guy. He's a fucking champion.
Congratulations to Chili Con Carnage. The only thing that I regret about that team is that Pogs went with the same fucking name. That's the only thing. That is the only thing that I am salty about is that I just like new names every year. That's the only thing I'm salty about. But those guys played their asses off, surprised me with another 100 million point season. He's sure to be a top 3 pick this year. We're going to talk about that as well. But let's jump right in. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to break down. Yeah, we'll do a mock. We're going to say who guys we think are going to go after. You know, we all have our sources here on the media team. Don't ask me how it happens, but it happens. And we're going to try and dissect this thing and really get after, because here's the thing. One, this captain's list is very, very, very competitive this year. And all my time in 239, which has been since the beginning, this is by far the most balanced captains group that we have had thus far, top to bottom. I'm excited for it. I think everybody's excited for it. We got 14 teams going into a summer season, which is fantastic. And if you guys remember that season 4 was a lot of fun. And that was a summer season. I think we had 12 teams that year, and the certain team won that build. BBB. They don't call me summer love old dad for no reason, and that is where we are at right now. But it starts off right now with Dominator Silva sitting in a number 1 pick of the draft. He's got the world in his hand. He can take any single player. And I'm just going to start this off easy. Nice and easy. Pale. Dom Silva. Who's he taking at number 1 and why?
Dom's a tough one, man. Like, I think if he was like 2 or 3 picks down, this would be an easier decision for him. But he's in that top spot, and I feel like he has a lot of personal bias in who he's going to pick every season. So he could go that route, but I think he's going to put that aside this season, and I think he's going welcome to the web as his number 1 overall pick. I think Webb is, I think, the best center that's on the board right now. And Dom's either going to play right wing or right D, one or the other. And I think center is the most important position on the ice. And Webb is by far the best center on the board in this draft.
So I will send this over to you, Mr. Ferguson. Do you agree with this? Webb obviously had a great year last year. I know people are going to be like, oh, he played 97 extra games. Okay, well, fuck all that. Like, you can still tell if a player is good. Okay, let's not get crazy. But do you think that Webb is the number 1 pick in this draft with all the players that are captaining? And does it make sense for Dom, who does, I believe, have some history playing with him over in the MHL, different things like that? I don't know if they played together, but they played against one another. I know that for a fact. Is this the right pick at 1 for Dom Silva?
Is it the right pick? Yeah, probably. I would say you're correct on that. I don't think it's the pick that's going to be made. I think he's going to fall into his old habits and pick with comfortability who he's played with, who he knows he's played past seasons, and who he thinks he plays well with. I think the guy he's going to end up going with is going to be Dalai Lama, just because the guys have plenty of chemistry in the past. I don't know how much success they've really had together or not, but I think I see that the way going ahead for him, just because Dalai can help him with the draft a little bit more. Dalai's got a good knowledge of player base. I mean, Dom obviously has all that as well, but having somebody like that to assist you is also big in that first pick.
I mean, I don't think you go wrong with either pick, right? Webb can play pretty much any position. Obviously, you're going to draft him as a centerman. Ability. I guess let me rephrase this question for you. So now we've brought Dalai Lama into the mix. Thank you, agent, which is a great point. This is another guy who's been attached to Dominator Silva, so you have to respect that as well. Is this who would you take if you're Dom? Dom could be playing right wing. He could be playing right D. It's really, really hard to say which position he's going to play. I'm sure his draft will dictate where he plays. But do you like Webb at 1, or do you see him going with a guy like Dalai Lama, who's a bit more comfortable with?
I don't think either one of those picks are. I don't know. For some reason, I think that I think Dominator Silva might take the power of the Schwartz.
I can't look at this ugly mug.
The power of the Schwartz. Schwartz is a captain, goofball.
Oh shit! Oh, see, I told you I wasn't prepared for this. You didn't believe it.
No.
You didn't believe it. Hey,
Time
for the
out,
record,
time out. We're about to put ability on blast because this is what actually happened in the pre-show when I was sitting there lounging around, jerking off in the corner. He says to me, he goes, "Dales, I'll be honest, I don't really know a lot of the new guys." I said, "Cool, man. Follow my lead. We'll be all right. And if you really don't know, just say I don't fucking know." He didn't tell me that he didn't know the fucking captain's list. Like, I didn't know that was a fucking thing.
Look, I just didn't think anyone would let Schwartz captain. Okay, that's my bad. All right, so
listen, hey, Ryan, you're in like a 3-minute timeout. I'm going to put you there in a timeout because we have none other than Eso Pterodactyl, a.k.a. Tony Amante, a.k.a. let me change my gamer tag, slugging a bottle of water. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
That
What is that? It? I got the camera working.
Dude.
That's the best you can do for me.
Dude, you showed up late. You can't work cameras. You want a full-fledged introduction, but you can't show up.
Give me something.
All right,
me
man.
something.
Listen, here's the thing. There's no denying this. Esoteric is sort of a whiz when it comes to these mock drafts. He literally went 12 out of, I think it was 12 out of 14. I want to say it was
pretty good. Whenever it was pretty good.
It was season 4, I think, is the season he decided to completely get after it. So the two names we're talking about that number 1 spot right now. Welcome to the web, Dalai Lama. Who is Dominator Silva taking and why?
He's taking his boyfriend, man. He's taking Dolly. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I think it is.
Well, the argument got brought up that center is that premium position, that two-way center that everybody values and treasures and gets ridiculous hard-ons for. So that was the thing. And there's some, I don't want to connection between the two playing in the MHL, different things like that. So there's history here. So people thought that Webb could potentially be the guy, but you are completely 100% sold on Dalai Lama.
Yeah, I don't think he loves Webb.
Okay.
That's all.
I respect it.
Now, that's just my thought on it. Dolly's his guy. You know what I mean? Dolly's his guy. It makes sense. It allows Dom to do whatever he wants. He can play right wing. He can have Dolly on left, pending he signed up forward eligible this time. I think he did. Correct?
Yeah, he is forward eligible this season.
I can't see him not going one. I can't see it.
And again, I don't think anybody's going to hate the pick. I think Dolly has more than proven himself in this league to be a top guy. He's a top 3 pick in this draft, especially in my opinion, if he's playing left wing, he's a no-brainer in the top 3. So I'm going to bring up a name just because I like to bring up the relationship aspect. And I don't mean a relationship like that, guys. I mean a relationship that everybody knows that Dom is very, very closely attached to Sea-Doo as well. They hang out or like in parties and different things like that. They talk all the time. That love triangle thing, Kayla, Sea-Doo, Dom, it's a thing, man. Anyways, they're all good friends. So Chelsea's a top talent. She's a first round talent. Do you see? I mean, I the way everybody's saying it is that there's no way she goes at 1, right? Like, there's no way Sea-Doo goes at pick 1, right? No.
But
I think I think Dom would leave it.
right wing, right? He's gonna have to.
Well,
Yeah.
that was the point I was gonna make. Is if he takes Sea-Doo, he's all but guaranteed that he's gonna play right wing. So
They
he's
already did that.
so he's handcuffed in the draft because he
Right.
can't necessarily take best players available then if he takes Chelsea, because Chelsea's going to be his right D 100%. He has to play right wing. So now he's literally filling spots. Whereas if he leaves that right D spot open, takes a guy like Dolly's your lock at left wing, he can let the draft dictate where he goes. And I
Yeah.
think that if the best player available in round 2 is, let's say, a center or a right wing, then he could take the best player available. He slides back to right D, and now you build it from round 3 rather than building it from like round 2, where you're basically already sealed at that point. So I like the pick. I like the play.
You're boring me. I'm just gonna lay down until you say something relevant.
What? What?
Who
Who the
invited
fuck?
this
Like,
guy?
I like.
I'm literally bored by this analysis.
Anyways, I don't even know why he's here. Like, I don't
Listen.
even know.
Hey, who
Listen,
invited
man.
him?
Listen, how about the fact they already did that? You want to bring that up? They already did Sea-Doo
Are
on
you-
right D with
Are you wearing a Washington Capitals shirt?
yeah, man, Brooks Orpik, dude, champion.
Oh my God. You're like a
you see-
Boston fan and you're wearing a Washington Capitals shirt. You got
Dude,
Boston
Brooks.
blue and shit all over your
Brooks.
wall behind you. And you're
He's
wearing
American.
Washington Capitals
He's
gear.
American.
Like 3 years ago in Washington. I buy souvenirs, dude. It's not my fault. I know I can pick winners. That's why I picked the draft fucking order correctly. Okay? That's why I'm on this fucking panel.
Listen,
Right?
he can't draft a team to save his life, but
No,
he can
I
definitely.
can't, but I know what everyone else is gonna do.
He knows what everyone else is going to do.
Valid
So,
point.
now here's the thing. This brings us to Marty McFly at number 2. Now, we all know Marty in the past has been that 200-foot centerman that we've always talked about. Now, he tried the defense thing. I don't think we'll ever see that again. But he did do the right wing thing. It seems like he's really comfortable there. So obviously, I feel like if Webb falls here, that's a route he could go. But I want to bring up this name because this one's really sticking out to me, and that surprised me. Now, people will sit there and talk about Surprise Me's game and say, oh, he plays up and down, he plays the power forward, but you cannot sit there and deny what he's done. And the fact is that I believe in 3 seasons here, he's eclipsed 100. Is it 3 seasons he's been here, Pale?
Yeah, he's been here since season 5.
See, there you go. Or so is he? Yeah, 3 seasons. The guy's eclipsed 100 points every single season. He can carry an offense literally, and this isn't to slate on Pogs or Floaty, but Surprise Me is the real deal, and he needs to start being drafted like that. And with that means he goes in the top 5. Now he's sitting there on the 239 website trying to drape himself out of the top 5. That's just simply not the case. When you produce at that and you do it consistently, not 1 season, not 2 seasons, but 3 seasons now, you need to be really, really taken seriously. So if Marty does want to make that shift back to center, really focus on the 200-foot game, he's got a guy sitting there at 2 and Surprise Me that he could grab to run his offense. So Pale, what do you think about Surprise Me at 2? And this is pending like Webb's not there.
Yeah, I think Surprise Me at 2 could be a thing for Marty. I don't know. Oh, I just feel like Marty is another guy that's going to go with something comfortable. I could see him going Chelsea at that pick. And I don't think that would be a bad pick either. I mean, he's had a really successful season with Chelsea, with Dolly. I could see either one of those 2 being his pick with the second pick. But I could also see it being welcome to the Web and him saying, you know what, I want to play right wing on a season. I want to draft the top centerman. Center's the most important position on the ice. I could go Webb. He'll have a lot of options. I mean, that's what you get when you have the number 2 pick in the draft. But yeah, I could see it being any of those 3. I think Surprise Me is probably the least likely, and I just think that Surprise Me is going to slip again as he has in the last couple of drafts.
And I guess I'll send this to you, Pale. I want to redirect the question because, or not Pale, I'm sorry, Agent. Like a guy like Surprise Me, who's putting up top 5 numbers consistently season in, season out. Like, why does he continue to fall every year? Because, like, in my eyes, like this is a no-brainer to Marty at 2. Is it play style? Is it? I mean, the guy's got IQ. He knows how to score. I mean, he does it. He's done it every year.
Can I answer this one?
Yeah.
So he hasn't played with anybody else but his boys in this league. He hasn't played with anybody else besides Pogs or Float or anybody else. He's been on the same line for all 3 seasons that he's been here. And yes, he's produced, but who knows what he's going to do with somebody else?
Not true.
What? Why is that not?
That's not true.
He played on a forward line with myself. He played on a forward line with Sandy. And we had one other person that season as well that played on that forward line.
Was that your team, right? That you captained?
Yeah.
That was the season I couldn't remember. So he played.
That was his rookie season, right?
That was his rookie season. So he
Yes.
played 2 seasons with
That was
Pogs.
the season that I got 5 draft picks in a row.
That's what it was. That was the season. So, Agent can kind of speak to this. You obviously like his game. You had him on the squad, so can you justify? I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, but is this guy, he's a top 5 talent, right?
Can't get it done without Pogs. No, I'm just kidding. He's good. I think it comes on the play style. Well, one thing too, the guy in the party, he doesn't really talk. But he's never in the wrong position. He's not ever. He makes the right passes. He doesn't fuck up. But I think it's part of the reason in the party he doesn't talk a whole lot. And I think it's a play style. He plays one way, and it's obviously very effective. But sometimes it leaves the other side of the ice kind of rendered not as useful. I guess it would be an easy way to put it. Not entirely, but it's just a different way to play with, and you got to kind of play around the way that he does that, which Marty might be able to do that. Marty's a guy that can adjust really, really well and really quickly. So I think that would be one thing that could benefit him and that team. But I think I do see Marty slipping back into, his old habit of going with somebody reliable that he knows is going to produce, that he's comfortable with playing, and he likes in the party.
Interesting. So I'm going to send it to you before I send it to Ability. Who's your lock here at 2? I mean, are we way off base even bringing up Surprise Me at this point? Who do you got at 2 here?
No, you're never off base bringing up Surprise Me that high because he should go that high, but you're right. For whatever reason, he never does. It's kind of like Anze Kopitar, right? Like he always, not play style wise, but like he's always a superstar, but he's just so quiet and not really talked about for some reason. He falls for no reason. But this is Marty. And Marty has like a fucking career face-off percentage of like 30 in this league right now in this game in NHL 18. And I promise you, he has not much interest in playing center. Welcome to the Web's my pick here for Marty, man. It has to be Webb.
And that makes sense because you have Dolly as like the literal lock for 1. So Webb at 2 makes sense here. By the way, Webb, dude, enough with the drape in the Twitch chat. Like, you don't need the ego stroke. You're good. But like, oh no, I'm going to the second fucking round. Just stop. You're being ignorant at this point. Just
so
stop.
Bad. That's
Please.
so bad.
Just
It's
just
horrible.
stop. It's like
It's
Sandy's
just
poem. I love Sandy's poem, but it's like the Sandy's poem shit. Just enjoy the show, man. I don't need to hear the retarded shit. I love you. I don't even know you, but I love you. But you ain't going to the second round. We all know it. Like, we've already stroked you off enough. Just stop. Just stop. Anyways.
Just enough.
What's that?
Enough.
You're good. Oh, I'm going to the second round. Really?
No.
Really? Okay. Cool. Sick. Anyways, Ability. I saved you because I kind of wanted to move on to the next captain because you have a lot of experience. Not with Yambag, but the guy who is literally, if there is a lock in this draft, it's this one right here that I'm about to say for Ball Bag 21, because he has gone in every single platform, on every single stage, in every single thread, and has literally come out and said, I am taking Alex Mora, aka Brick City, at pick 3. No questions asked. So, Ability. A guy who's won a cup with Brick City, a guy who's played with Brick City. Brick at 3. This is the play, right?
Is he here?
Dude, they've been scouting together. Yes.
They've been playing, and like, here's the thing. Listen. Here's the. I've dealt with both of these guys. Like, both of these guys I've dealt with in some sort of capacity. Now, me and Alex have obviously, ever since we've not been playing together, like on a team, we've been great, but like we clash, like not even clash, but like we saw things differently as far as like what we wanted and different things like that. Just didn't work. Yam is Yam. I don't know how Yam is truly an anomaly. Like, he is like, there's nobody else like him, and there's nobody else like Brick City. And now both of them are going to be on the same team together, pending something crazy happens. I am, needless to say, interested to see what happens. But if Yam's taking Brick, Yam's a lock at right D. There's no denying that. That's a 100% lock. That's a spot. That's where he plays. Brick is an amazing left defenseman as well. But because of the 3RR draft this year and the reverses and everything like that, Yam's not picking again for a while. So their first forward, if he chooses to put Brick at left D, isn't going to be until the end of round 2. So to me, in my opinion, Brick is going to be a forward all season on this team. And what happens is if the defense is bad, Brick wants to drop back and just switch lineups, and based on the series and different things like that. I don't know that Yam's going to want to do stuff like that. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out. But Pale, I mean, you are a Brick City guy through and through. You won a cup with the guy. Brick at 3, you can't go wrong here. He's one of the most diverse players in the game. He can play everywhere.
Well, yeah, he gives Yam a lot of options, and I think that's important, especially when you're picking at the top of the draft and you don't have a pick until very late. If a guy slips and you feel like this is the best player available, but oops, I already drafted a guy in the first round that can only play this position, or this is his best position, I can't take this guy, then you're stuck. With Brick City, that's not a problem because he plays 3 different positions at the highest level possible in this league. He can play center, he can play left wing, he can play left D at a super high level. And to be quite honest, he could play right wing and right D just as well. He's not going to because he's more comfortable on the left-hand side. And there's a dearth of talent in the league for right-handed players. But I don't mind this pick. I think it's a good pick for Yembag. I think it's a guy that gives him a lot of options later in the draft. And I think Brick's a winner. He's a guy that's going to get his team to the playoffs by himself. So if you put a good team around him, you listen to what he says, and you form your game plan around Brick City, you're going to have a good team.
Hey, Pale.
That's just what it is.
Move your camera up.
The Twitch stream is getting after you right now because all they can see is your fucking mouth. Just slide your camera up a little bit so they can see your, like, here. Yeah,
Two Therapy's giving me a read.
Yeah, they're getting after you.
Well.
I have the Twitch stream up, so I was looking at it.
Oh
Definitely
my God, they're going hard.
your
right
undernose and like all beard. But you're getting after
your
it. It was
mustache
good.
just curl into your mouth? It looks like.
Yeah, man. Listen. That's the jock up. That's the jock up. Don't convince that's what it is. Listen, I'm gonna send it over to the mock expert himself, Esoteric Man, Brick City at 3. You know it as well as I do. This is 100% lock if he's there at 3.
That's a lock, man. It's a lock. Yam's been wanting to take him for seems like forever now, right? And for whatever reason, yeah. I mean, but it's a good reason. Tail went over the reason. I mean, it all made sense to me. He's been talking about it. He'll tell anybody that'll listen. I don't think he's lying. I think he's going Brick City, and it's smart. It's a good play, especially if he gets Brick on board.
A clash of like attitudes, though.
Well, I think they're both mature enough to work together. And here's the thing about Yam. Like, he's very stubborn, but he will listen. He will listen. So if Brick's like, yo, this shit isn't fucking working, like, we need to do this, then Yam is open. And if Yam's 2-7, Yam's probably going to listen. And if Yam's, 1-6 or 1-5, like, Yam's going to take it into consideration, say, okay, what do you think? So, excuse me. Yam is fair in that regard. And he does run his teams like that. Like, he's a pretty chill dude. Like, But again, it's two very different personalities. So you're always interested to see how it's going to play, how it's going to go. I'm excited. I'm interested for that. Now, Yam always says, I never get good draft picks. I'm always at the butt fuck of the draft. This
Hey,
motherfucker got
Hey,
fifth pick one time and he
listen.
took Annihilator 15. Thank you, chat. Thank you,
There's
chat, for
that.
reminding me of that because
Thank you.
the guy gets a top 5 pick one time and he goes after a fucking EASHL legend with 19 million points. He's the 15th best center in the world. He's
Fucking
sick at everything he does, and it didn't work out. So to me, this is redemption for Yam. He finds himself in the top 5 yet again. He needs to hit a home run with this pick. He needs to swing for the fences. He needs early 2000 Ryan Howard home run bombs, and not post-shift era, because the first one was in the Hall of Fame and the new one's just the 220 hitter. So that's what Yam needs to do. He needs to hit one out of the park. Brick is the guy. This takes us to a very interesting topic here, and that is OP Jelly at 4. Now, most of us will sit here and say OP Jelly is going to take Cosmic Fade at 4. Why? Well, because they're friends in real life. They see each other every single solitary day at school. But you know what? Jelly said, fuck you, Cosmic. I'm not taking you at 4. At least that's what my sources are telling me. This promotes quite a problem for the person picking at number 5, and that is Thamps. And the reason that poses a problem for Thamps is because Jelly has made it clear that he wants a two-way centerman. Who's the next best two-way centerman on the board? Well, this guy was supposed to captain this year, and now he no longer is. That is none other than Russell, aka Hockeytown, who seems like an ultimate lock to Jelly at 4. Now, I'll send it over to you, Pale. A, is Russ the pick at 4? B, what does Thamps do at 5?
I think Thamps is getting Hockeytown. I don't care what Jelly says. I don't think he's taking Hockeytown. I don't think that's his guy. I think if I'm in Jelly's shoes and I'm picking number 4, I want one of Dalai Lama, Surprise Me, Chelsea, or Welcome to the Web. That's my top 4.
And again, like, I know it's tough because we don't actually know how it's going to play out, but you're not going to go wrong with any of those names. So when you bring up somebody like Chelsea, you have to ask yourself this question. There's 2 questions to ask, really. A, does Jelly feel that he can carry a line not by himself, but I mean, he's going to be the primary at number 4. Like, he's going to have to be the guy.
I mean, even if he's taking Hockeytown, he's got to be the guy, because Hockeytown's never going to be the guy. He's a guy that's a number 2 forward on a line. He's a centerman. He's really easy to play with, and he's going to give you a full 200-foot game. But he's not a guy that's going to carry your scoring. So if Hockeytown's the pick and he's expecting him to be, in the top 15 in scoring, that's just not realistic.
So that's why you like Dalai Lama here. We all seem to think he's not going to fall, but somebody always does. And all the names we mentioned, someone has to.
Those 4 names are what I would be looking at, and I think Chelsea would be the one to fall.
And here's the thing. I mean, Cosmic is a centerman. I know he's a left wing, but he wins faceoffs. He's actually improved his defense tremendously. And yeah, you may not get as much offense per se if he's playing center, just because that's how it happens. But he's still, to me, the pick here. I don't know. Like, how he plays. You've won a cup together. Like, I don't know. I'm not skipping you, Fergie, but I'm going to ability because I'm interested, because he's had both of these guys on his cup-winning team. You got Cosmic, you got Jelly. Isn't this kind of like, don't you think that Cosmic's a no-brainer for Jelly here, or could you see him taking Russ?
Man, he could take.
Sick camera, bud.
He can't take Schwartz, right?
Mm-mm.
That was my camera down.
You have
We're
the
seeing
wrong,
a black
you have the wrong
screen.
account unmuted.
I see
Check
your
it.
green screen down on the
Check.
bottom, but I'm seeing a black
know.
screen right now.
Pay no attention to this. I was getting chirped by Sober too hard, so I had to switch things up.
Sober! Don't
Sober's
fuck this shit
incredibly
up, man.
But I still want to say that he takes Schwartz. No, Surprise Me. Surprise Me is definitely the pick.
And that's another name. I think Pale touched on it. Like you can go any which way with the name, and you're getting a good player in the top 5. You're getting a player you can build around in the top 5. I think this is an interesting name, and we brought up Sea-Doo being like that right D. Now let's say, and I'm gonna send this to you, Fergie. Let's say Cosmic makes his pick. It's Hockey Town. That's the guy who goes. That's who Thamps wants. Thamps has made no claims about not taking Hockey Town at 5. That's who he wants, and everybody knows it. But if Hockey Town's not there, who does Thamps take at 5 and why?
So you're saying that Jelly took Cosmic?
No, I'm saying Jelly took Hockey Town, and Thamps wants Hockey Town. So who does Thamps go with at that point?
I think at that point, you gotta have some sort of backup plan set, and I don't know. I mean, Thamps can kind of carry an offense himself, I guess, in a way. He's got the ability to do so. He can dangle with the puck if he needs to. I think the smart pick would go defense. If he's stuck in a bind, he doesn't get the guy he wants. You go defense. Honestly, you pick CD, you pick the best defenseman available, and solidify your back end.
Now I'm going to send it to Esso, and I want the 4 or 5 here, but I figured I'd let you do both at the same time. So you got 4 Jelly, you got 5 Thamps. So what do you got for 4, and then how does that impact the 5th pick there?
Jelly's pick is fucking annoying to me because I really don't know what he's gonna. There's the one I can't get a handle on it. Everything you said makes sense. I hate to sound like Agent here. I agree with everything you said.
Got it.
I think if Jelly takes Hockey Town, because that Thamps has this water bottle firmly up his ass. Oh, I want Hockey Town.
He named his team Detroit Frenzy after Hockey Town's G-Chat logo, like it's a thing. So,
I know. The thing is if he doesn't get Hockey Town, he's going to take Sea-Doo, in my opinion. I don't think there's a question, and it's the right play for him because, as Agent alluded, he can carry an offense a little bit, and I think that Thamps actually works best with a really good secondary scorer than he does like him to take Cosmic right there. If he's there, doesn't make sense to me. I think it's just too many guys want the puck right there. Thamps works really well with a two-way player that's really smart with the puck. Everybody knows Hockey Town's one of the smartest. He's not the flashiest. He makes the passes that you want him to make that you don't think he's going to make because almost nobody fucking makes them. And you're like, oh my god, he made the pass. Yeah, that's what I wanted. It's in the back of the net. That's why I think he wants him so bad, because Thamps is so good at burying. I mean, it just makes sense. So if he's there, no doubt in my mind he's taking him. No doubt. If he's not there and he's taken by Jelly, it's definitely going to be Sea-Doo, and that's the right play.
So Sea-Doo ends up going in the top 5. This makes me miserable because I actually traded out of the 5th spot. I swear to God, I was taking Chelsea at 5. You can ask her. I literally told her I was going to take her at 5. I heard a rumor that she was going before that, so I ended up trading down. And now, seeing how the draft played out, I am absolutely miserable because I think it would have been absolutely annoying to have to play against both of us. But yet again,
flying over or what?
What?
You're
No,
fly
this is
over.
what happens when I listen to people. Like I just shouldn't. I shouldn't fucking listen. I shouldn't do anything. I hate all of you, and I just need to mind my own business. Like that is the mistake I made, and now it's just not a thing. We'll talk about that later. So this takes us into pick 6. Now, Joey Stopa actually has, I believe, 2 picks in round 1 now. Is that correct? We had Pale Poner, who switched drafts with No Regretskis, who No Regretskis is a piece of shit as well, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But he switches drafts with No Regretskis 100% in full. And then on top of that, Pale ends up moving his 7th.
No, I moved my 12th.
He moves his
No
12th to
Regretskis
Joey
got my
Stopa.
7th.
And then, right? No, you moved your 7 to Mac North, and then you moved your 12 to Joey. What'd you do?
My 7th went to No Regretskis. That's what I was originally given in the draft.
That's what it was.
And then I traded out of the 12th to Joey Stopa.
That's what it was. Okay, my apologies. So Joey Stopa has 2 first-round picks in this draft, and we'll talk about that as well. But at number 6 here, Joe's a guy. He's a left wing. Had a good team last year. It was him, Schwartz, Grish, the whole bit. He's coming back this year as a captain, sitting in the 6th pick. And this is going to be the first new name off the board. My sources are telling me this is 100% lock. I don't know if this is to be true. Blue Line King 7 Is that his gamer tag? Blue Line King 7 or
Yeah.
Blue Line King insert random
Yeah.
number here. Apparently, this guy is an amazing defenseman. Like, people are saying that he's as good as Drug Monkey and Sea-Doo and the likes of that. So I'm hearing this is 100% lock at 6. So I guess Schwartz has a really firm hard-on for this guy as well. So I send it to you, Pale. Have you heard Joey Stopa take? I know you're a little bit closer with him than I. Is that the pick at 6, or do you see him taking a Cosmic Fade here?
Yeah, I haven't really heard that that's going to be his pick. But I don't think he takes Cosmic. Cosmic and him play the same position. They're both left wings. I mean, Cosmic might end up playing center again, but I don't think that is his best position. I don't think he's comfortable at center or as comfortable on left wing as he is on center. I mean, I could see that happening. Blue Line King is apparently this stud defenseman. I played with him a couple of nights ago in a party with Regretskis and whatnot, and you know he seems like a really good D-man. We'll see. I mean, I don't know that he's lived up to the, you know, that from that viewing that he lived up to the hype that I was told of what this guy is. He's supposed to be a monster defensively. I've been told by a couple of people that he would be one of, if not the best defenseman in the league. I don't know that that's the, you know, the thing or not, but you know, if he's really that good, he definitely warrants a top 6 pick. That's up to whatever captain is doing their due diligence and scouting, and if they see what people have told me have seen.
Pale, or not Pale, I'm sorry, Agent, you know, Blue Line King, he's new to the league. Him and Joe, they're very, from what I've heard, you know, very linked. I see Schwartz is already emo in the draft. Listen, like, you know, obviously we have the sign up process. It is what it is. Like, these guys don't, it's really hard for these guys to fly under the radar. Like, it really, really is. Like, if you're a good player, you know, fucking Yambag is like the Great Gatsby, dude. He's gonna like figure shit out. Like, that's just how he is. Like, he comes to me with information. Like, he knows like dudes' waist sizes and what size condom they wear. And I'm just like, how do you know this? Like, how is this a thing? Were you sitting in on the session? Like, what is happening? But is this a lock here, Blue Line King there, Fergie, to Josto at 6?
I mean, I played with Josto, I don't know if it was last night or the night before, and he literally said it. He's taking Blue Line King. And I'm reading Twitch chat. Pale, in quotations, hasn't heard that BLK is going to Josto. Meanwhile, he's in captain's chat, and Pale's a part of, and he said he's taken them multiple times.
Well, time out a second. Time out, motherfuckers, because I'm in the same goddamn chat. You got to take it with a grain. Because
I agree, but dude,
I'll
dude
trust
said
fucking
it in
anybody.
parties.
I'll trust
But
anybody.
there's another thing that Pale said I agree with. Playing with him the other night, I don't think he lives up to the hype of being a top center in the league, or a top D-man in the league. By what I saw, whether he was playing the full extent or not, I don't know, and I don't really care. But we'll see when the season comes. But from everything I've heard, that's a lock.
I trusted something I heard. I traded out of 5, and now I don't get the player I want. So fuck all that. It said it in cap.
But everybody's out to get
you know what?
That's the truth.
I left that fucking chat today. I was so sick of it. I left.
Everybody's out to get you. That's the problem.
So man, give me the lock for 7, Blue Line King, or is it someone else? Or 6?
7.
I'm sorry, 6.
Yeah, it's, from what I hear, it's Blue Line King. I don't like Cosmic for Josto either. So yeah, I think it's a lock. Just from what I'm hearing, everyone's like, yeah, they're doing the bid, and he's got another pick later in the round. He's gonna get offense there, so that all makes sense. I don't know a damn thing about Blue Line King. I'm gonna find out if the hype is real.
We do, you know, we do our due diligence here, man. Like, you know, we didn't know who Floaty was. We didn't know who Surprise Me was. Eventually, if you're good, we figure it out, like who you are. It'll happen.
Yeah.
It's a thing. So let's talk about this next cocksucker, and it's Mac North, aka Fuckstick. So basically, what happened is No Regretskis, and you know, this is why I hate everybody, by the way. You know, No Regretskis goes out of his fucking way to trade ahead of me in round 1. Yeah, I take this personal, by the way, only to then flip the pick to Mac North in the same night that Mac North decides to suck me out with a 6 fucking deuce in poker. Ask me how fucking cool that is. You know what? I am all set with Brian with a Y. I am all set with Mac fucking North. And I don't even give a shit who he picks at 7. But since I have to answer because it's my fucking show, he's taking Cosmic at 7. Pale, do you agree or what the fuck?
No, he's taking Tony Amani. That's the pick. That's the Tarek is getting taken.
So
At 7.
obviously you're going with the rapport, you're going with the relationship. Obviously, they've known each other for basically a decade. And Mac North is going to scoop up Tony Amani. Now, let's keep in mind as well, Mac North has played net for the last 2 seasons, hasn't played wing since I believe it was on DC's team in season 5, I want to say. So he's been on, he's been in the play. I've heard that he wants to make the transition from left wing to right wing, so he'll be playing there this season, which means he's going to be drafting his team that way. Goalie seems to be pretty solid this year, so if there was a season for him to do it, this would be the one. I don't necessarily know if I agree with esoteric. I think that Cosmic makes more sense, and I'll tell you why. You can play him at left wing since Mac plans to move to right wing. If that's not working out, you can move him to center. He's capable of playing there. The kid plays a 200-foot game, which I said he's much improved on now, but the big thing is he can create and he can make everybody around him better. To get a guy like that at pick 7, a guy who can literally change the game with his offense and make everyone better, I think it's very, very, very rare at 7. At 7, you're always getting a good player. Don't get me wrong. But at 7, to get a guy of this caliber who can literally change the game is crazy. If he's there at 8, I'll just let it out of the bag right now. I'm fucking taking him at 8 if he's there. So don't let Cosmic Fade fall to me, because I'm telling everybody right now, whether you want to believe me or not, I will take him at 8. Ability. Mac North coming out of net, playing wing for the first time in 2 seasons. Cosmic Fade, a guy who literally can create and do all this off. This is the pick, right?
I mean, if he's there. Did I may have missed this because I was getting sobered, but where did you guys say D-Mart's going?
We haven't yet. D-Mart hasn't got brought up yet.
Okay, so you take D-Mart here.
At
he's defense only, right?
He's D only.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, see,
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, man.
It's okay. They didn't know who the captains were.
Ability. He should just take Schwartz here. That's what he should do. He should take Schwartz.
Absolutely.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy today?
Schwartz is amazing.
Terrible.
Again, guys, like, Ability did not warn me of this. Like, see, like, I was all about helping him out. He didn't warn me of this. Like, he didn't warn me that he was completely unprepared. He just said that he didn't know the new guys. I didn't know that he didn't know the captain who was the first one to ever draft him in this league and give him a shot. I didn't know that he didn't know where that guy was playing.
Ryan's getting called a mess in Twitch chat. Like, are you okay, buddy, or what?
Ability. Between Ability's misses and Pale's mouth, like his physical mouth, Twitch chat is having a field day right now. So it's like a thing. But shout out to the boys, man. We're just trying to get after it out here.
D-Mart, what a cuck, man. Defense only? Jesus.
Yeah, man, he wants to switch it up. Apparently he's been transitioning well.
He wasn't even gonna
if D-Mart was a forward, that's a lock at number 2. I think his brother takes him. It's very rare that you get a chance to play with your brother.
Makes sense. I was wondering what the fuck was going on.
Because he wasn't going to sign up at all, and then he signed up D, right?
Yeah, he wasn't even signed up until I think he signed up 5 or 6 days before the draft closed. So, so he signed up D only. But I'll send it to you, Fergie. Number 7 here. Who do you like here for Mac North? Again, I'll bring it up. Coming out of net, that's all but confirmed. Who do you got him taking here and why?
Oh, big news coming in from the Twitch chat. Looks like Mac North's taking Schwartz.
Okay. That's gonna be on a T-shirt like sometime soon.
Oh, Jesus.
It's gonna be on a T-shirt. It's just gonna simply say, "I'm taking Schwartz." Like, that's what it'll be. Like, book it. Like, Dom Silva's already working on it. I see it now in quotes. I'm taking Schwartz and a big thumbs up in the bottom middle of the shirt. Like, I already see it happening, and I'm smiling, and Esso is smiling because we will both purchase that shirt if that is the case. Now,
I don't know.
What do you think, Ferg?
My dead thoughts is he's got to put somebody on the forward line with him. I played with him the other night, and he played really well. But he's got to put somebody at center or left wing, probably preferably center, to help him out. And I don't know if that's like a Tom FTW type of guy, or who it might be exactly, but I think that might be a good fit for him. just Tom's play style. Let Mac worry about scoring, do his thing, and Tom's a smart, intelligent guy that can be in the right spots for him, make the right passes. That would be a good fit for him, I think.
So Mac North, your buddy, man. Your name's been thrown around. Cosmic's name's been thrown around. Who's going at 7 here?
That's my guy, man. But I actually don't think he'll go with me. Couple of reasons. If you have Cosmic Fade there, and I know I'm just gonna kind of echo it. This guy's 200-foot game has insanely improved. He made a believer out of me. I told him, I always tell Cosmic right to his face. I was like, oh yeah, 6 center, you're 18 feet up the ice. You know, he doesn't do that shit anymore. And you saw his point total not suffer, but I mean, it looks like a center's point total, right? And it's still high. But he's just so creative, and a guy like Mac, who's going to be playing right wing, he's going to be coming out of net, like you said. Man, he's going to create so much space for Mac North, and if there's one thing Mac never lost his touch on, it's burying the puck. Cosmic's going to get him the puck. I guarantee you that. If Cosmic's not there, that means Sea-Doo is. So I really think that you can't, as much as we're boys, I don't think he'll pass on those two, and he shouldn't pass on those two. That's just my opinion.
Well, that brings us to pick 8. That's my pick at 8. I'm not going to break my own pick down because I'm not telling you guys shit. I did say if Cosmic was there at 8, I'd take him because I'm not letting him fall any lower than that. But, Pale, who do you got me taking at 8? Why?
This is difficult. So I'm going to assume that everybody that I've stated before is gone. And I think you take a guy like Pogs. Pogs is a guy, it's a great two-way centerman. And he's going to put up a lot of points. He's going to play great defense for you. He's going to be good on the faceoffs. That gives you the ability to play right wing or right D, depending on how the draft goes. I think Pogs would be a pretty good pick for you.
Hey, if you could compare Pogs' game to another centerman that's played in this league in years past, who would it be?
Pogs?
Like a King Rome, maybe? Season 4? Something like that?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I think King Rome's a little bit more dangly. I think it's probably more a little bit closer to Stealth Luka D.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And Fergie, pick 8. XDALY. Who's it going to be?
I mean, you already said it. Cosmic is there. I think Pale kind of nailed it. That was a good. I wasn't thinking about that angle of it, but I think that's a good choice just because I think it would fit well, you two together. He's a very, very smart defensive player, and he's an intelligent player nonetheless. He sees the ice really well, so I think that'd be a good player. I think you go with a strong centerman, whoever it may be, whether it be Pogs, Tom FTW, somebody along those lines, or obviously Cosmic's there. He's gonna go. So.
Now, ability, I've hoped by this point you've had a chance to look at the draft sheet.
It's Schwartz. You're picking Schwartz.
Ooh,
Yeah.
big pickup.
I was going to build to that, but you guys obviously beat me to the punch there. So with Schwartz obviously not being available ability, who would you say that that Mr. Daly's taking at 8?
Look, man, I think that Tom for the win is going to have to be the pick if you choose to go with the centerman. I can't get DeMart and Schwartz out of my head. It's hard for me to focus about other players right now. I don't know who else you take here, to be honest with you. I think that Cosmic's going to fall to you. If that doesn't happen, yeah, I'm really stuck.
Time out a sec. What's stopping me? What's stopping me from taking DeMart at 8? And then when we get into the game, me saying, okay, you ready, Dan? Switch with me. He can play forward with the D build, and I'll play D with the forward build. What's stopping me from doing that? Yeah, I said it. I said it.
Do that. You would
I
absolutely
said it.
not do that.
I would. Are you serious? I would 100% fucking do that.
Do it.
Dude, the puck moving
I would
D is
tell-
one of the
I would
best
tell
things
D-Mart.
in the game.
I would
You
tell
were never
DeMart,
gonna do that.
don't let DeMart fall to 8, motherfuckers. Don't let him fall, because I'm telling you right now, just out of fucking spite, I will do it. I will fucking do it. I will tell Daniel Martin to use a puck-moving defenseman, and
Nope.
after the fucking puck is won one way or another, him and I will fucking switch, and he will play right wing while I play right D with a right wing build. Don't think I won't fucking do it. Think about that for 5 freaking
That is
seconds.
excellent
SO.
to hear because that means he's going to need an elite forward later in the draft.
Tony, is
Thanks,
he going to be
folks.
doing that or not? What's the deal here?
What?
He won't do that. He talks a
Exactly.
big game,
Thank
but he
you.
will not do that.
Thank you.
I will
There's
do
no
that.
way.
Yeah, thank God somebody puts him in his
But
place.
here's the thing: I do think he'll take Dan, but I don't think he'll do that.
I'll do that.
I don't think.
I will 100% do that. You guys know, like, I just do shit to, like, my team name is based off a gay boy band. Like, I will do anything
Dude,
to
you.
troll the fucking league. I will do it, and it will
Okay,
seem
but
competitive.
there's a difference between trolling the league and pulling shady ass shit. That's shady shit. You won't do it.
That's not shady. That's
It ain't?
smart.
Okay, all right, that's cool. No, you know what? No, that's fine. That's good. I'm glad you said that. We'll let Cosmic Fade sign up as left D only, but then just patrol all the way around the ice.
Listen. The fact of the matter is that obviously I don't play D
Fuck outta here.
anyways. I always
Fuck
jump
outta
into
here.
plays. Well, how would you know the difference? I just jump into plays anyways. I don't even play D. Ask anybody in the league. I don't play D on D. I play forward on D.
Nobody. Okay, you're really trolling me now, and it's embarrassing.
Listen, man,
It's not even good.
Listen, we've had enough of the 8 pick.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
No, you know
I'll
what's
tell you this,
embarrassing? This
You
is
will
what's
not
embarrassing.
take plugs.
Ready for
I
this?
promise that.
Time out
You
a
won't
second.
take
Let me
plugs.
run this down. You want to know what's embarrassing? This is going in order. Pale Poner running the show from his freaking teeth. Mark Ferguson showing up once in a blue moon. Ability not having a fucking clue
fuck does
about
that mean?
anything going on. And Tony Amani can't get off the fucking black screen for the first 20 minutes. That's fucking embarrassing. Now, moving on to pick number 9.
I'll put you on this fucking casting couch I got here. All right?
Yeah.
You know what the casting couch is?
Oh boy.
Take a seat, big
Of
boy.
course he knows what it is.
I know what the casting couch is. You know, I can't even take you serious. I'm with Pale, man. You got the Orpik shirt. got the
Cosmic
Bruins
chugging
stuff in
daily
the
and
back. I
fast.
can't take him serious. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about pick number 9. We had enough about 8. We're gonna talk about 9. None other than the pharmacist. That's what we call him now. The pharmacist himself. By the way, he gets after it on Twitter. This guy's passionate, man. Like, if you're saying some stupid shit, he's gonna let you know. I'm never gonna stop selling that. You don't follow him. Follow the Drug Monkey on Twitter. So this brings up an interesting thing. My sources tell me that Drug really wants Cosmic at 9. So that's obviously not going to happen. Drug is not getting Cosmic. It's completely out of the cards. He's never going to get him at 9. So you start to look at some of these names. Now, Drug, I think, wants to get a scorer, somebody who can put the puck in the net. And I think Belial might be the guy here. And here's the reason why. Now, Belial was stuck on miserable team after miserable team after miserable team last year, and he ended up finishing top 10 in points. To me, that's something to be said. On top of that, he plays a premium position at center. This one makes the most sense to me. This is where the draft is going to start getting a bit rough. I don't think Drug takes any D in round 1 or 2. He's going forward because he trusts his own ability, and he knows that he can kind of carry not a D like a D pair, but yeah, he can. He can carry a D pair being elite himself, so he has that advantage. I think Belial's the pick here. Pale, what do you think about Belial at 9? Am I way off? This is where it's going to start to get a bit rough. So what do you think at 9 here?
No, I don't think you're way off. I think it's another D-man or another guy that, doesn't play the center position, saying, you know what, center's the premium position. I'm going to take the best guy at center. And Belial's a guy, he has a bit to prove in this league. Based off of last season, he didn't really get a fair shake at playing on like a good team with a bunch of good guys, and I could see that happening. Belial's out there. Tom FTW is another name that probably comes up as well. He's another guy that can play center at a high level and can be a guy that produces a lot of points and plays a good 200-foot game. I Drug's going forward no matter what. Belial could be that pick. I could see that.
I find, and I'm just kind of scouring the list here. I know we talked about Pogs already. I know we talked about Tom, but the thing with Tom, I think that we need to make note of is after that Victoria's Secret season, the next year he was drafted, I believe, in the top 6. He had a good run with DJ, and then last year as a captain just wasn't quite there. But even on DJ's team, the points were down. That team was obviously not. I don't think DJ's team made the playoffs that year, or if they did, they got bounced early. No, he wasn't on the Wanderers, right? Tom wasn't.
Uh,
I'm not sure, but as far as
I
offensively,
thought that DJ drafted him though. Maybe he got traded off the Wanderers. I don't know.
I don't remember. I'm not sure. No, I think he was on the team with DJ that was supposed to be really, really good. I think it had like Marty and Tom and all these guys, and it just didn't work. I think that was the team Tom was on. But here's the thing: if Drug takes Tom, I think that Drug at that point, because Drug likes his danglers, man. He likes those greasy little fuckers that are going to score goals. So he can worry about defense. Let those guys worry about scoring. That's why Cosmic would have been a perfect pick here. He's just unfortunately not going to make it to him. But for Drug, I think that Tom doesn't necessarily make sense. I think Belial brings the most offense to the table at this pick, so I could see him doing it. If a guy like Grish was forward, I could see him being the pick here. But for the most part, I feel like Belial might be a lock here. If Drug was playing when like a Jofis was in the league or maybe a Stratios, those are a couple names that get brought up. The thing is that those guys just haven't played in a long time, like competitively in league. Whether they're playing outside, I'm not aware of, but those guys probably shouldn't be drafted in the first round. So I don't think those picks make sense here. So for me, Belial coming off the season he did on the team that he did, you put Belial with Drug, now all of a sudden you have already a better team than Belial was on last year. So I think that's the play. But I'll send it over to you, Fergie. Who do you think Drug's taken here at 9 and why?
What do you guys think about like a Saini or Ezreal? Anybody think that would be something that you see happen?
No, I think that that's a solid pick as well. That's a guy that's on the right wing. He's a dangly guy. He's going to be able to put up a lot of points. Yeah, I could see that happening as well.
If I'm so listen, and I'll be honest, Jug and I have never really talked shop as far as like right D to right D. Like we don't really talk like that. But like if he's like me, I always like to use the eye test. Like who's somebody that's annoying as fuck for me to play against? So like I've said in the past, like Floaty was one of the harder guys that I find in one-on-one matchups to play against. He's just really, really solid, and he always kept me guessing. I feel like Saini is a guy like that, or Ezreal. Whatever. Isn't Ezreal the cat from the Smurfs? Like, isn't that a thing? Does anybody remember the Smurf?
I don't know. I know Ezreal's a League of Legends character. I don't know if that's
okay.
That's all I know.
Listen, I've got a 2.5-year-old. Like Smurfs is a thing in my house right now. We watch it about 8 times a day, and I'm pretty sure that's the cat's name. So, shout out to Saini the cat. You sly son bitch. Yeah, I don't know what the player. I'm gonna send it over to Mr. Locke himself. Esso, who do you got here and why?
Mr. Agent kind of stole my thunder there a little bit. I like Belial there for him because I know Drug does like these little greasy little fuckers. And at the center position, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I really like Ezreal here too. Right D, right wing. That's gonna be his guy. That's who he's gonna be outletting the puck to most of the time. And he knows he's responsible and greasy and wiggly and all that good stuff. So it makes sense. But center is a premium position. So that's why I think I like Belial even more for him right there.
Now,
I like Belial there.
Now, Ability, I skipped you because I didn't know if you knew who Belial was because his name isn't Schwartz. So I decided to.
He was on my team. The first team he was on in 239. Yeah.
So perfect. So Belial last year was his rookie season. Had an incredible year playing on a bad team. No offense.
Yeah, I heard that.
But what do you think about Belial? What do you think about his game? Is this a guy that you could justify really going here at pick 9?
So my experience with Belial summed up. He's a great player. He knows how to move the puck. He knows how to score the puck. He's not a Schwartz, but I like his gameplay. I just wonder how well he finished out the season meshing with his teams and how he's going to mesh with his next team. I think that my first impression of him was just a little bit questionable. But as far as his gameplay on the ice, the guy's stellar.
So let me stop beating around the bush. You're saying that Belial is a piece of shit, but he's a good player. That's what you're saying.
I will step in for this one. He was a piece of shit, 100%. When he started with that team, he was a piece of shit, and I think he knows it because I talked to him. I talked to him towards the end of last season, and the guy he literally said like, I kind of regret some of the stuff the way I went about it because it wasn't the right way, and he found out after he got traded from our team, which we made the playoffs not by a lot or nothing, but he got traded a team that wasn't doing very good, and then he was really miserable. So I think he right away put up a front to he's playing with people he doesn't know and he didn't like it, so he just fuck you, but he found out real fast that he can get traded to somebody that's going to be even worse
Well,
situation.
here's
So
the
he
here's
fixed
the
it a lot.
argument. Go ahead, Ability. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say that I actually think Pogs might jump in here and be a good pick. If some other guys are off the board and Drug wanted to make a safe play with the great player, no better thing to do than to pick a champ. And Pogs is excited. Just won his first one.
And again, you can't go wrong here with Pogs. You know, that would easily be one of the older teams in the league if Pogs and Drug were on the team. Just kidding. That was so mean. That was so
But
mean.
it's so true.
Dude, everybody's old in this league. We're all old fucking men. Like literally all of us in our 30s and shit. Well, for the most part, but there's some young ones. But yeah, man, you would have to change your team name like to like, I don't know, like Onset Early Alzheimer's or something like that and just run with it. Or the Walker crew with the tennis balls in the I don't know. It would just be funny, I guess. Maybe not really. Anyways, I'm thinking what was I gonna say? Oh, you know, if you're joining this league, and I'll say this to everybody, this isn't going to be a rant or anything. We do the redraft every year. So every time you fill out the sign up sheet, every time you get in here, you run the risk, especially if you can switch positions, you can say you can't play these days, you can do all these different things, but the way we're set up, it's really, really hard to get on your buddy's team. And especially now that there's 14 teams, a lot of seasons, like it's very, very difficult to get on your buddy's team, especially if you're trying to drape or whatever the case is. So with that being said, this league isn't for you then if you don't want to play with other people. Like it just happens. Like you're going to play with, yeah, sure. Sometimes you'll get like CC being reunited and playing 2 seasons in a row. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes captains can make that happen. But if you come into it saying like Blue Line King signed up, maybe wanting to play with Schwartz because they jerk each other off in the corner, but like Blue King has to realize like there's other people who know who he is. Like he's gonna get drafted. What if I would have taken him at fucking 8? I never talked to the guy a day in my life, but if I hear he's a good left D and he's worth the pick, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like my sources are usually pretty good. So you run that risk. Master America, perfect example. Pogs brought him in. Pogs was able to get him, but Pogs probably stretched on him and took him earlier than maybe he would have liked because he knew people knew about him. So again, if you join this league trying to get with your homies, like, take Woolen, for example. Maybe Woolen was trying to play with his buddies. He ends up on Dom's team and it just doesn't work out. And he got himself a Rule 1 and I haven't seen or heard from him, So again, you guys got to keep that in mind. When you tell your buddies to come here, like you might not always get to be with them. It just happens. Short seasons, we redraft every year. So moving along, that piece of shit, Brian with a Y picks 10. I think I don't really know at this point. I don't know where he goes. I know him and Tom FTW had some pretty good chemistry on Victoria's Secret. So I like the pick at 10 here for Tom FTW because Brian is a top end talent. And I think he of anybody could really stand to benefit from a guy like Tom and can really justify the pick at 10. So for that reason, I think Tom is a no-brainer here at 10. What do you think, Pale?
Yeah, I could see Tom being the pick there. I could see him going with a D-man too. I mean, if Blue Line King finds his way down there, I could see him going with that. If Chelsea manages to find her way down there, I could see him going with that. Tom FTW is a good player though, and he's a good center. And obviously, regrets he's going to be playing right wing. He's going to be looking for somebody to play center. If the run on centers happens, like I think it will in the middle of the first round, I think you got to take the best center available because there's just not going to be many left after that.
Fergie, I'm going to send it to you. What do you think here, man? You got Brian with a Y picking at 10. Center is going to be the thing. I think he can't really go wrong with Pogs or Tom here. It's going to be preference. The reason I said Tom is obviously they play together on abilities team. So Fergie, let me know what you think and then send it over to Ryan. I have to pee. And I don't want to do it on Twitch stream.
What the fuck?
What?
I thought you were getting the bottle.
No, I can't, man. We're on Twitch now. Like, I don't think I'm allowed to pee in a bottle on stream. So yeah. So send Fergie ability and then send it over to Esoteric and I'll be right back.
Word. Honestly, with Brian, I think I think he has to go. He doesn't have to go with a good center because obviously the guy can carry an offense by himself. So if a person like Sidu does slip to him, yeah, I think he'd be dumb not to take him. But really, I think he does go to the center with a Tom FDW, a Pogs, a Belial, somebody of that stature would make that offense pretty well unstoppable. I don't know. What do you think here, Ability? Ryan's dead. All right. Word. Tony?
Yeah. Thanks for your input, Ability. We'll go with
Schwartz.
My bad.
That's when he was
yeah,
looking
he's
for
probably
Schwartz.
gonna go Schwartz here, I would imagine. No, man, I'll tell you who he's. I think he's gonna take Dmart. I don't think Daly ultimately takes Dmart. I think this is the spot Brian takes Dmart. Brian is addicted to having a right defenseman because like he runs the whole show out there. I've played on his teams. He really needs his right defenseman to be one of the best players on the ice. I know that sounds weird. He's had Drift King the last 2 seasons. First of all, won a cup, Swift Pups, season champs. You know how that goes. With Drift King, last year it didn't work out so well. I don't think he's going to repeat that with Drift again. So I think that he's definitely going to go Dmart here because let's face it, good players are good players, and he's going to play really well on right D with Brian, and they can interchange too. Dmart jumps up into a play and Brian drops back. I think that's going to be a thing. I think Dmart's his lock pick here.
Okay, so I think that this is ultimately where Tony Amonte probably gets paid.
It could be a thing.
I don't think Dmart's going to make it this deep, even on defense, because he can come up. And Daly
does he go to
is
Daly?
going to take him. If he's there and there's not a better pick in his eyes, he's taking him. So I say that Esoteric is going to land himself on Regretski's team. And that's a thing because we all know there's a lot of bro love.
I'll tell you this. I'm not taking Esoteric because here's why. And this is why I think
Nobody
Brian.
cares here.
No. But here's what happened.
Jump in a fake taxi, okay? This is what I was gonna fucking strangle myself
Here's the
with this
thing.
fucking thing while I listen to you. Go.
I do think that Brian could take Esso here because of the history. They won the cup together, different things like that. So I think that could be the play here too. And I actually forgot. I think was it Pale? I think said that Esso goes at 7, which is kind of why I forgot about him. That and he's super you forget about him. It just happens. Like even on the show right now, I just kind of forget that you're here sometimes. Sorry, it's not personal.
What's it like? What is it like waking up every fucking morning? You know what you are. I don't have to repeat it. You already know.
That's my line. That's
It's your
mine.
life.
Well,
It's your life.
fair assessment. Here's the thing. I think that at this point, this is, I don't want to say a lock, but it's going to be, see, now I'm thinking Dmart here. Dmart's not making, Cosmic and Dmart aren't making it past me. So
What a good idea. Who thought of that? Me, while you were off taking a piss. I already
really?
said that.
Oh, is that what you said? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Either way, I think okay. So if Dmart's not here, I think that it's going to be a 2-way center, Pogs, Tom, and then or Esoteric with. And at this point, you would be playing center. You wouldn't be playing left wing on this team.
Right.
Anyways, moving along, Joey Stolpa's got 2 picks in this round. In round 1. Here's the problem. We're going to talk about who Joey takes here, but this is where I'm a bit concerned because Pale Poner literally traped the shit out of Joey Stopa here. Pale, what was it? Because Pale had sent me an offer. I accepted it. Like I was at work. I go, hey man, let's do the bit. And he goes, sorry man, I traped Joe. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he sent it over, and I was mad. What was the trade, Pale?
So Joe actually offered it to me. It was number 12 for I think like 21, and then he gave me 45, which was middle of the 4th round, and he also gave me 60, which was middle of the 5th round. So he asked me for 12, which was my 1st round pick, as well as my 5th and 6th round picks. So I moved up a whole round and a half in the 5th and 6th rounds. So I went up from 6th to middle of the 5th and up from 5th in the middle of the 4th. And I actually initially told him no, that I didn't want to do it, but I'm only moving back like 8 spots in the first round. I'm jumping back to the middle of the second round. I already have a top second round pick anyway, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have my draft done by 51, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to get a lot of middle tier guys, and I'm just going to build around myself.
Words
Yeah, I
of
mean-
so you're gonna fuck it up anyways.
Well, you're kind of doing something similar to what you've done in the past, and you've had success with this strategy. Obviously, you're going to
Yeah.
be playing center.
I've
you're-
always traded down. I've always had end of the round picks, and I've always traded down. So
Yeah,
It is
I
what it
know. I
is.
know. Early on, you tried to get
Are you
up.
playing center for sure? Or are you drafting?
Yeah,
a
if he
draft and
doesn't
then
play
somebody
center,
playing?
he's stupid. But yeah,
yeah,
he's playing center.
I'm probably definitely playing center. A, just because of how weak the center position is in this draft, and B, because I do think that it's my best position right now.
And I don't think anybody would disagree with that. You played for a cup final last year as a centerman and went 7 games and choked a 3-game lead. But
Yeah, that happened.
ooh, listen,
But you didn't
no,
pause.
we're not gonna. I haven't let you off the hook yet, but we won't do that today.
I'm not looking back. We're looking forward.
Unfortunately, that ain't how it works here, Mr. History Man. That ain't how this works, because that one's gonna go down in history. And in season 15, we're gonna be talking about the 7 collapse and the
Oh, boy.
CCC triumph. Sorry, man, and you'll remember it better than anybody, but we love you. So that brings us to Joey Stopa here. Basically, Stopa picks at 12, and Pale, what is this motherfucker's next pick? I gotta scour
Third
the
round. I think middle of the third round, and then
So
he
he's
doesn't pick again
34.
until the 5th.
So he
34
goes
and-
12, 34, 54, and
71 and 77.
Puke.
wait a minute. That's
Puke.
the option. Isn't that the optional?
Yeah, he's
No.
got 2 picks in the 6th round, so he's drafting a
no,
roster player in the
no.
6th.
Joe, why did you do that?
Puke.
Oh no. Wait a minute. So he's gonna have to start. No. Oh. Lucky for him. Lucky for him. This is a deep draft. A really deep draft. Like, but he's got to
Was he luck
nail
or
it.
was he planning on the deep
Dude,
draft?
he's got to nail it 100%. So this 12 pick that we're about to dive into right now, like, I don't think it's enough. If I'm Josto, I'm working the phones right now, and I'm trying to get Marty's number 2. If I'm Josto right now, I'm doing whatever it takes to get the number 2. And in my opinion, this whatever you can fucking say whatever you want. Josto, cool. You take Blue Lion King at 6. Joe needs to be in the top 3. I'm trying to flip my 12, and I don't even think you can do it because I know the asking price from Marty McFly on this, and I don't think Joe has enough.
Joe doesn't have enough unless he offers both first.
Man, this is way off base here. I think that I didn't realize it was that bad. I thought he had a couple fifths,
He's got 1 5th, 1 3rd, 2
that
firsts,
6 is the extra rounds. That's your extra.
and
Like
2
I'm not.
6ths.
So he's picking. So you kept your 5th because you have a pick at 60.
No, I traded my 5th. My 5th was at the top of the 5th, but I traded that and moved up to 45. And I traded my 6th, which was at the bottom of the 6th round, to move all the way up into the middle of the 5th.
Sheet showing you at having a pick at 60.
Right, that's the 5th round.
Right,
That's the middle. That was Josto's 5th round pick.
Got it. Okay, so your draft is done by 60.
No, well, that's my extra player at 60. I'm drafting my last roster player at 51.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm making sense now. I got it. Sorry. Yeah, I don't like this for Josto. So Josto's got to hit a home run here at 12, and I don't know that he's proven that he can be kind of a number 2 guy. But I feel like he's better suited as like a trigger man 3. Because last year he had Schwartz, and Schwartz was the 1, Grish was the 2, Joe was the 3, and that didn't get it done last year. And that's a really good forward lineup. He's not even going to be able to come close to replicating that. Yes, granted, the D is going to be a little bit better with Blue Line King back there. From what I've heard, I haven't even seen the fucking guy play. But if he's everything that he says, if you're making comparisons to Drug Monkey and Sea-Doo, then like, okay, cool, he's elite. But at this pick 12, like it's got to be somebody. It's got to be a center, I guess. But now you're basically saying that Josto is going to be like your guy offensively. Like, I don't know. I don't even know who he takes here that's going to be able to make up for this gap. And this isn't me shitting on Josto. This is just I just think it was a really bad trade. I'll go with the same Tom FTW. Pogs, I guess, here. Pale, who do you think he takes? Like, this is, I didn't realize, I feel like he's handicapped right now.
Yeah, if Belial's sitting there, I could see him taking Belial. I could see him taking somebody like Saney. He's got to take somebody that's pure offensive. I think that's what he needs. If he's taking Blue Line King, then you don't need the best two-way centerman on the board. You need somebody that can carry the load offensively. So you're going to take the best offensive player.
I don't think that player's here at 12.
But if
I don't
you
think that
rewind,
player's here at 12. That's my problem.
He takes best offensive player with his first pick.
Yes,
6.
but okay, but
then he can get Blue Line at this pick. If that's the guy he wants, you take.
I don't think Blue Line King is going to fall there.
Yeah, I think Regrets
Really?
might do the "Hi, my name is Earl" thing and take Blue Line King at 10 again. I agree with Pale. I don't think he falls, but I think this pick is shit.
Dude, you did there? Huh. God, you're so fucking funny.
Anyways, Esso, I'm gonna send it to you, man. What do you think? I feel Joe has literally crippled himself in this draft, but what do you think he does here?
I don't think he's crippled himself at all. I just think he has to change the strategy. Like you said, Schwartz, Grish, himself, that's a ton of scoring, didn't get it done. If he's going Blue Line King like everyone thinks he's going to do, I think he's going to do as well, because I don't think he wants to chance him dropping a 12. Now his team strategy just changed. Now you go with Tom FTW, or you go with Pogs. It has to be an offensive player. Even if another good defender falls, you can't be looking to take your first offensive player in, what was it, like pick 30 something?
32. That is a shit pick for your first offensive player beside yourself. I'm making myself laugh right now. Come on, that's kind of funny, right? All right, whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry.
You're a pin drop in
Wow.
here.
I know, man. It's a tough
Bad.
crowd.
Yeah,
It's a tough crowd out here tonight.
You're not funny, and not only that, but back to my point, in the 30s, unless he's got ringers, what's gonna be his guy there? I don't think and I know he has a huge, enormous eggplant for Chew Therapy, but that's the wrong pick there. If to me, it's right D and goalie for Chew Therapy only, right? Like there's no way he'd take him at 12, right?
No, I don't think that you can take Chew at 12.
No way.
Because here's the thing.
31 2.
If you take Chew at 12,
okay, so he's got a great defense, right? Oh, this.
but Joey's never been the number one guy. And if he didn't get it done last year with Schwartz, Grish, and himself, where he's the number 3, there's no way it's gonna fucking work. Like, he's not gonna score. They are literally going to have issues scoring. They're literally going to have issues scoring if that's the case. And at that point, too, it doesn't make sense. You maybe Chew's there at 32, but I doubt it. Chew's going to be gone before 32. So the only reason Joe takes Chew Therapy at this spot, what?
Is a right D or a goalie for Chew? I mean,
yeah, that's it. He's got nothing else. So
he might be there at 32. I'm telling you right now, I would not take him at 12. No fucking way. No offense to Chew, plus his schedule. I know Joe loves him, and he should because he's a good player, but it's just, no, I hate that. I hate it.
Man. I realized something too, by the way. We skipped Cortez because I'm way ahead of myself because I didn't realize the drape, how bad the drape was. Cortez is going to be so pissed when he watches this too. How could you skip me, dude? It was my first season as captain.
He's going to be changing his picture on the website.
I know. So here's the thing. We got to backtrack a second. So Cortez EA, a guy, I think Cortez does have an advantage in this draft. And the advantage that he has is I think he's good at every position. Now, people are going to argue and say, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He's a goalie. Listen, I'm telling you right now, like, last year on Downey's Diner, it didn't work, right? It didn't work. But the kid's got skill up front. He can play forward. Kid's got skill at D. He can play D. He's got real good skill in net. Net is probably his best position. I think he'll be the first one to tell you that too. But he has an advantage that other captains in this draft don't have. The advantage that he has is that he can consistently take the best player available in the first couple rounds. That's what you want to do. So for somebody like Cortez, he could go into it at pick 11 and go after a guy like BTW, right? And that's a name we haven't really talked about yet, but that's a guy who's been performing over the last 2 years. BTW could go here at the end of round 1 and nobody would blink an eye. Now that and Cortez can go into round 2, which I think he picks at 16, and he could either get himself a D, he could round out his forward line. He could say, okay, well, I think I'm going to have to play right D, so I'll draft another forward to play with BTW. There's so many different things that he could do because of how versatile he is. It's very, similar to like if Brick City were to captain. Like Brick would have that same sort of thing where other captains, like, like I only play like this position or Drugs the right D. Like we're kind of at a handicap because it's like that's where you're going to play. So you have to build around that. Where Cortez can always take best player available. With that said, Pale, who do you think Cortez takes at 11, and what position do you see him potentially playing this season?
I think he has to go center. I think because that's, if Cortez is playing forward, he's playing right wing. If he's playing D, he's playing right D. If he's playing goalie, then he's playing goalie. I don't think that Cortez is a center. I don't think that he's necessarily a lefty or left wing either, but I've been saying it this whole show. I think center is the most important position on the ice. I think there's a lack of centers in this draft, and I think he has to take the best available center to build the best team that he can.
Cortez actually can play center. He won faceoffs at almost like a 60% clip last year on Donnie's Diner, which is a struggling team. But again, with that being said, if you have an opportunity to take a Pogs, to take a Tom FTW still being there, it's really hard to pass that up because then it allows you to be more offensive. The reason I brought up BTW is there's history there. Those two guys are linked outside of league and they hang out and play other games and different things like that. And BTW, you could really make that argument, has worked his way into that top or that late first, early second round pick. He's been being drafted as about a mid-tier second round, but I think he's worked his way in. His ability to score, his ability to create space. He's a very, very solid player. I don't think anybody would bat an eye seeing him get drafted here. So I like that potential play here for Cortez. Fergie, who do you think Mr. Bailey would take here at 11 and why?
Schwartz.
Yeah.
Ability, are you awake over there? Okay. Ability, who do you think Cortez would take at 11?
So, I'm not really sure. I think that I've heard him say he always wanted to have a beautiful wiener. So that could potentially be a pick.
I took beautiful wiener at 11. That's good. Good comparison.
Maybe beautiful wiener is destined to be the number 11 pick for the rest of his life. Maybe beautiful wiener is destined to be 11 inches of fury. That should be your player name this year, sir. Maybe beautiful wiener is on the up and up. I just don't think it makes sense here. But I want to get to the defenseman in just a second. But I need the lock pick from Esso at 11, and I want your lock pick at 12 as well. Cortez 11, Stope at 12. Who you got?
Cortez. Does he know what this is Stradios?
No.
I'm guessing he doesn't.
No.
I like Estradios for him, but I don't know if he knows he likes it for himself yet. That's the problem.
Estradios plays a lot like I did up front. I think that's a good point.
It's
Sorry,
good.
go ahead.
Well, if that's the case, then he doesn't want him at all. I take it back. No, but I had for Josto might know him too. That might be a thing too. I just think for 12 and Josto has to take the absolute best offensive player available at the time. Maybe Cortez. I like Cortez best. I think his best position to play again is right D.
Yes.
He's really good on right D. I really like him on right D. And he's great in net too. I just don't think he digs the net. That's all. I think he'll end up going with again, best available forward. If he knows some of these guys, some of the Estradios or even Jofis. Jofis isn't the center, I don't think, but just throwing names out there. But I don't have a lock pick for Cortez. That's the thing. It's just like Tom FTW, maybe BTW.
Throw it out there. You got to pick one.
Fucking BTW then. He's taking BTW.
Yeah, I love the ties here, but you guys are actually bringing up a point I want to make here, but I want to do Schwartz first because if we don't talk about Schwartz, even though he's been brought up at every pick, he's going to be a literal fucking mess. So Schwartz at 13 here. He's got the rat pick, so I want to touch on both these picks here. 13, 14. Schwartz is going to play right wing, no doubt about that. I'm going to throw a name out here and for 13, and let me know what you guys think. I got Quantum Tech at 13 here. I know these guys are linked to one another. Quantum has played in the league before, took a couple seasons off. He's back for summer. No surprise that Schwartz is captain. All of a sudden, Quantum's back. It seems like an easy play for me here. Quantum's going to be the pick at 13. No one's really talking about him here at this pick either. So I could see that being his center pick at 13. And then remember, Schwartz does have that early pick in the third round because of the 3RR rule. So he's making out pretty big. For 14, though, and this is the point I'm going to make, I think that defense is a bit slim. So I think to peg Cortez at right D is a really fair play because of the fact that it seems like that position is very, very slim. It's the reason that I'm going to be drafting as a right defenseman. Drug Monkey's obviously drafting as a right defenseman. I think that position is fairly weak in this draft. So I see a potential early run in round 2 happening with that defensive spot. I could see a Rondon Vellante going here, even though he has some questionable availability. If you can work around that, he's definitely worth the pick here at what are we at 13, 14. You could also see, is this the year that you see maybe a Kayla go early? She had a great season last. I had said on this show, she's made big strides defensively in her one-on-one game. So I think that, is that a too early of a pick? Maybe, but I think that like defense are going to go. I see Grish going here as well. Is it any weird feeling that last season Grish played forward with Schwartz all year? Grish knows if he signs up as a forward, he's probably going top 10. But he fills out lefty, righty only, which I know he is probably actually better at defense and forward. And he has Schwartz picking at the back end with not a lot of people knowing that. Quantum and Grish are my 2 picks here. Pale, what do you think about Schwartz and pick 13 and 14?
Yeah, I kind of had Grish nailed down as his defenseman pick. I think that's a guy that he's going to be picking up, with one of these picks. For forward, I mean, Quantum Tech is a good player, and I could see him going there if there's no better centers on the board. I have a feeling that Bilal or Ezreal is going to be on the board here, and I could see him going with either one of them.
What do you think here, Fergie, at pick 13, 14, Schwartz the wrap? Who's he going to do?
Pale took my words there at the end. I think he's going to go with one of those forwards that maybe we thought was going to go earlier that probably is not going to, and he gets a top quality forward here at the end of the round.
Ability, man. Schwartz, this is your guy. It's really the only one you know in the league. So I figure I would give you a chance to break this down. Who's he going with here at 13 and 14? Obviously, he can't take himself, so keep that in mind with your analysis. But who's it going to be here at 13 and 14 and why?
Yeah, real simple. And I gave this one a lot of thought, so I didn't want to mess it up. I am 100% sure with both picks 13 and 14, he takes Schwartz.
Here's the thing. I see in chat right now, Schwartz is saying, yeah, I'm a center. Like, bro, no offense. I've seen you play center. You're a right winger. Like, that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. You like to get out in space. You don't like to hang low. It's not anything personal. It's just you're much better at right wing. So yeah, maybe you can play center, but I just think to totally utilize your skill set, I think you need to be on the wing. So yeah, I 100% am have you locked into the right winger. I'm sure you could draft other way. I could see him taking a Belial here. It's not anything personal, but again, for me, it's just you're offensive, dude. And like, not that you're like defensively anemic, but like you're just an offensive player. So it makes sense for you to draft in such a way. I don't think you're familiar with Tom FTW, so I don't see you taking a guy like him just because you don't know him or you don't play with him a lot or whatever it is. You're definitely taking homies here. What do you think, guys? So give me a lock for Schwartz here at 13-14.
What about Rye Guy?
Kuzi? I don't think he knows Kuzi. But that's on
research.
Yeah, that's not a terrible pick, man. I mean, Kuzi back in the day was always a number 1 pick. For those who don't know, Rye Guy, aka Kuzi, 87. Back in the MHL days, like that guy was consistently a number 1, number 2 pick. I personally think he'll fall a little bit, but I don't see him getting out of round 2. But I like the name, and I think it's interesting to bring up. It also brings up another fact of we got some incoming talent this year, and like every year, it seems like how are we going to get more rookies? How are more rookies going to come through here and make an impact? You know, it was, you know, Schwartz coming in as a part-timer. He was killing it. From Bilal last year having the season he did, you know, and all the guys, everybody, you know, Master America obviously won the Calder, but like to see the rookie class consistently getting better and better and better, you don't think it's going to get better and better, and it consistently does. It's kind of a testament to what we're doing here. The league is growing, the league's getting stronger, we're getting a lot better players, different things like that. But Pale, with that said, what do you feel about the rookie class? I know you're always doing scouting. I know you're always on top of it. But how do you feel about the incoming rookies? And in 239, obviously Blue Line Kings, the big name being thrown out, but do you know anything about any of the other guys coming in?
Yeah, I know Rye Bish and Finney, I think, are two of the part-timers that Dom brought in. They're the owner and GM of Dom's LG team in the CHL. They're both really solid defensemen. They both, I think, primarily play lefty. And I mean, I could see Dom picking them up late. I mean, that's an easy swap, right? You get two part-timers that both play the same position. You don't have to make your lineup any different anywhere else. So you can just plug them in and play them, you know, interchangeably. I brought in a guy, Sonny D. He's a left wing. I've been playing with him in LG. I like his game. It's kind of different. I don't think a lot of people are gonna mesh with it, but you know, it's a different style. He kind of reminds me of like a Wizzy Ward type of player. It's a guy that floats around. He does a lot of different stuff, and you know, you kind of have to play off of him and know what he's thinking to really see what he's going. But he's a fun guy that I've played with. Some other rookies, I played with Blue Line King a little bit. He seems to be a really good defenseman. We'll see whether he's as billed as one of the best defensemen in the league.
Because that's how he's going to be drafted, right? He's going to be drafted.
Oh yeah, he's. I mean, I assume he is.
Because I mean, by all accounts, Chelsea's going top 5, maybe, possibly, and there is a world that Blue Line King gets taken before her. So he's going to be drafted ahead of the 2-time Norris Trophy winner, and right in front of the guy, the 2-time Norris Trophy winner, Captain Drug Monkey, drafting. Like, these are big names. So he's going to be drafted as such, and he's never played a minute in 239. I think it's, I don't know, man. I get it, but I don't. You know, at the same time.
There's some other guys that are coming back though that aren't rookies. They've been here before, but they're coming back, and you know, a lot of people may not know him. Beastly Jesus was on my team in season 3 when I won the cup. The guy's a great defenseman. He's a great forward. He can play everywhere. He's a guy that's gonna go under the radar a little bit, but you know, I don't see him getting out of round 2. If Stradios is a guy that traditionally went in like the top 1 or 3, you know, in the first couple of seasons of 239, and you know, we'll see where he goes and how he produces. Jofus is another guy that's been in and out, that has produced like a top winger, but you know, is again somebody that depends on his line mates a little bit, how he meshes and whatnot. So it'll be exciting to see. There's a lot of guys that are coming in that haven't played last season, and it'll be cool to see.
Ability, or I'll send it over to you first, Mark. What do you think about some of the incoming talent? You know, I'll bring up a name, Dominator Silva. He, you know, recommended a guy or referred a guy named Elitism. I think that's his name. When I see lefty, right D preferred and willing everything else, to me as a captain, like, this is a must scout kind of player. Somebody, you know, obviously getting defensemen can be a little bit rough, you know, and finding a guy, you know, as far as breakouts and good positionally, different things like that. Is this a guy that you know anything about, or is this a guy that you take a look at knowing that, you know, Dom's been in the league a long time and he knows talent, different things like that?
Right. I don't know anything about the guy, but I think, yeah, obviously you got to scout him. I mean, if it's somebody that's coming in wanting to play defense, I think every captain should get a look at the guy, just because it is a kind of a tough position to draft for. And if you can find somebody that's kind of under a lot of other captains' radar, you know, you're ahead of a lot of people right there just with a little bit of knowledge. And I think it's also somebody you can go talk to Dom. Dom's a straight up guy. He'll tell you what he is, how he plays, and how he is. You know, this league's all pretty cool. Everybody's pretty cool. Not there's a few drapes to go through, but most people are pretty straightforward about people they bring in the league. They tell you how they are and where they think that they'll probably go. So
Now, excuse me. That pretty much is gonna kind of wrap it up. But like, I want to do one more thing. Like, first of all, we've been running for almost 2 hours, so I know that we missed the show last week, but we wanted to do a really in-depth look at all the teams. I want to touch on Pale really quick because I realized he was the only one without a first-round pick. So let's touch on him, and then after that, we're gonna make our predictions for this year, pre-draft predictions. Now that the season's getting ready to start back up, I know me personally, like my work schedule kind of eases up in summer. So I plan to be, getting those throwdown posts up. I'm going to be doing prediction threads. Most likely the prediction threads, I'm going to do them on either Thursday or Friday for the week coming up. So that week coming up, I'll pick a day or two, like a full slate, and we'll do some predictions on those days. So that thread is coming back. I know a lot of people really like that one, different things like that. But before we do that, before we get into our predictions for the year and the preseason, let's talk about Pale Poner. So Pale traipsed the shit out of Josto, like no lube, spread your cheeks, and let Daddy have a run because Pale Poner's picking 15, 21, 28. Where else are you, Pale?
45, 51, 60.
45, 51, 60. Now, this is why I'm intrigued by this, and this is why I love the power move by Pale. We're calling it a power move, and we're doing it for this reason. Pale kind of made mention of the fact that center is fairly slim in this draft, which I agree with. The 100% two-way center is slim. Now, if Pale Poner were in the draft pool this year, do I see him potentially going in the top 15 picks? My answer is yes. I see Pale Poner potentially being drafted as a first, early second round talent. So for him to hold his pick at ultimately 7, would have gotten a really good player there. Not going to dispute that, and that would have been a really nice starting point. But for him to really be able to balance out his draft by picking at his first pick at 15 and valuing himself as potentially a top 15 player, I think that played a big role in why it made sense for him to do that. So now he's basically getting 2 second rounders, plus if he's valuing himself as a late first, early second, that's basically 3 second rounders. Then he's getting 1 in the third and 2 in the fourth, and he's done. So, Pill, what was the mindset? Did I kind of nail that, or am I a little off? Like, what was your thought process like going into that trade, and why ultimately did you decide you wanted to move down?
Yeah, I mean, I've traditionally always moved down in the draft when I've captained, and it's more of I just feel like having solid players on the ice. You don't really need superstars. You need 5 guys that are all solid because I really believe that one player or 2 players that aren't on the same page or just aren't capable of moving the puck uh, at the pace that it should be moved really can hold your team back. So I moved down because I want to be able to put 4 or 5 really solid players on the ice that can all get in sync and all move the puck at a fairly effective pace. I got offered the thing by Josto. I initially turned it down because I was like, oh, I don't care about the optional round. I don't care about moving up in the optional round. And then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Like, if I'm picking 2 players in the second round, my third round pick is the second pick in the third round. Like, I'm not picking late in the third. It's the second pick in the third round. So that's basically a second rounder itself. I've got a 4th round pick in the middle of the 4th and towards the end of the 4th. And then my extra guy is going to be in the middle of the 5th. And I was just like, I just want to build a really solid team. And I think that I can do that with the 2 or 3 second round picks that I have now.
Ability, do you like the power move by Pale to get himself into the middle rounds and get a bunch of value picks and get a bunch of really, really good IQ guys here in the mid?
I mean, I'm the wrong guy to ask this question to because I'm just not a fan of trades because of this reason. I much rather would have to see Pale put in a position where he has to take a late round talent or a late draft talent. I think it just makes it a little bit better if everybody's got that one guy that really is a question mark all the way around. But in this case, Pale doesn't earn the trait. Joe Stowe straight trades himself. And that's concerning for me because I really thought Joe Stowe coming off last season was going to do everything he could to have an all-star season this season. And based on the way his draft's looking, I don't know if he can do that. So a lot of question marks going up with this one.
Yeah, I think the point in that Joe Stowe is now basically, if he's taking Blue Line King at 6, which it seems like it's a lock, and not being able to really get the, I don't want to say game changing, but like the offensively, like dynamic, like you are like a cosmic fade type talent at 12. Joey's gonna have to really be the guy on offense. I don't know if he can do it. I hope he proves me wrong. But we're gonna go around the horn. Show's coming to an end. We've been getting 2 fucking hours of analysis on the draft. So show's coming to an end. I want to run the ladder. Nothing's happened. Nothing's been picked. Nobody has players besides themselves. Based on draft, based on everything we've talked about, based on potential things tonight, I'm going to run down the ladder. I want to know your captain that you think is going to have the most successful season and ultimately win the cup. Well, let's not say that because we got a couple of captains. Who's somebody that you think is going to have a successful season beside yourself? And who's somebody that you think could potentially struggle based on draft position, position that they're playing, different things like that? Pale, I'm going to send it to you first. Guy that you think is going to have a good season this year based on all those variables, and a guy that you think is going to really struggle.
The good season, I'm going to go with Schwartz. I think he got gifted a really good position with the 3RR trade. It gives him, or not trade, the 3RR draft system. And he's going to be able to pick up a couple of his boys early first and second round. And then he's going to have that third round pick where he's going to be able to pick best player available there too. Schwartz, I think, is going to have a really good season. For somebody that's going to struggle, I think it's Dom Silva. He gets the first overall pick, and we're going to see what he does with it. But that's a really tough position to be in when you're picking first and then you're picking 26, I think, and then he's picking like 38th or something like that. It's tough. That's really late picks to go with your first overall talent and yourself.
Fergie, somebody who's going to have a good draft, good season. Somebody you think that is potentially going to struggle.
I think the Ginger Boner is going to have a good season. I think he's going to have a good season just because every single season somebody's always done the same thing he's doing, is trading back, doing the, I'm going to take 2 second rounders, 2 third rounders, and then a couple lates. And that team's always successful. They always make playoffs, and they always seem to do well in playoffs. So I think that's why he is going to do well. And he also took my pick for who I think is going to struggle with Dom, just because of the draft he was dealt. That first pick's going to have to be everything for that team, because he picks 1, he picks 26, and then he doesn't pick again until 39. So, I mean, everything's spread apart really far with that different system, the way it's set up. I think he's really going to nail every single one of his picks to make this team work.
And again, he picks Dom Silva picks 39, and then he picks 40, and then he doesn't pick again after that until 65 or whatever.
That's why I think it's tough. He's in a tough spot.
So here's the thing, like the way the 3RR works, for those who don't know, like when you get that first pick, it's nice, but it definitely helps out the mid-tier picks. It definitely helps out the late picks, different things like that. So keep that in mind. We're gonna see how it goes this year, see how it plays out. The hope was obviously it would help with parity, but we'll go from there. We'll see. So Dom, everybody seems to think is gonna have a rough go, but Ability, who do you got, man? Good season and a potentially struggle season.
Well, there's a couple of guys I like for good seasons. Drug Monkey fans for Gretzky's. For a bad season, I don't know, man. I want to say Cortez. And the reason I'd say this is I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He's a great player. A lot of this is going to depend on how he drafts. But he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. So he's not going to want to make stupid plays during the draft. It could cause him to make an incorrect pick, or at least not the best pick for his team. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles that. You know, at the same time, a little bit goes towards Jelly because I tried to help him with some things with the captaining. Um, Ultimately, I don't know if he doesn't take Brick or get Brick, if he is going to be strong enough to lead the team. So that's my thoughts heading into it. But I wish everybody the best of luck. I love you all with a big boner.
Asso, man, this is a little outside your realm. You know, this is a very analytical show that you did today. So I'm proud of you, man. I really am.
Do you feel okay?
And do you see how ignorant he is wearing a Yankee hat with a Washington t-shirt and a Boston background? He did that on purpose, by the way. He is literally the biggest troll in the world. I was there when he bought the hat. He's like, Boston. It's
I went
ignorant. It's
upstairs.
fucking ignorant. He did it. Look at
Yeah.
it. He's smiling cheek to cheek. Look at him.
Yeah.
What a fuck.
I went upstairs to take a piss, and I was like, get a hat. Yeah, let me get this one.
He thinks he's fucking hilarious. He does this. He sits in his room and he thinks of ways that he can just be funny. Like it's sickening.
It's not funny. I mean, they've won like 2,000 championships. They're a pretty good team.
And the hat's nice. I'll be honest. The hat's nice,
Yeah,
man.
it's classic, man.
So give me your good season and teams that are going to struggle this year, or team that struggle this year.
Schwartz is definitely in the best position to have a fantastic core draft season, whatever you want to call it. Those rat picks, his boys are gonna fall. He's gonna get high first round talents at the end of first round. It's just gonna happen. And then he's got that, with the 3R thing, he's got to pick quicker than he normally would with a regular snake. He's gonna be the team to beat. He's gonna go on crazy heaters just like fucking Pogs did last year. Just ring off like 15 straight victories, just dumb shit. I think Ballbag's going to struggle, though. He gets his guy. Is he going to let his guy shop for the groceries? He needs to. He fucking needs to. He needs to let Brick do his thing. I run this team. I'm Yambag 021. I'm the fucking man. No, man. When you draft Brick City, you are now the Brick Cities. You let him run the team. You let him shop for the groceries, and you just be a good boy and play defense. Your draft, like,
good.
And he's
like
another one who's
8-1.
close to the top, like Dom Silva, right? He's close to the top, like Dom. His picks aren't going to be as good as some of the later round. Like Daly's in a good position. I think anyone after picking Daly is in the best position to have a good draft. But I really, really like Schwartz to just kind of dominate.
Yeah, I like that. A team that I haven't in mind yet, a team that I think is going to have a good season this year. I'm actually the other way. I think Cortez is going to have a good year based on draft position, his flexibility with the positions that he can play. As long as he can keep his cool, I think he really will. And then I'll say Marty McFly on a struggle. The reason I'm saying it, and it's basically kind of mirroring what everybody's been saying, is that 3RR thing, it's just a little bit different. It's new. So, Marty has to really nail that first pick, which it's really hard to miss in round one. Pick 2, you're getting a tremendous player there. But I think that he'll really nail that out, get himself a really solid guy, but he doesn't pick again until 25, I think it is. Yeah, 25. So that's a long gap. And, I think that early second round, you're going to see a lot of the defensemen go earlier than maybe they should. So now you're kind of scraping. And then when I say that, like, I think like Nexus, who's been a guy that's been drafted in round 3, could potentially go at the end of round 2, mid round 2. Kayla, who's historically been drafted early round 3, I could see her going mid round 2. It's things like that. Cause like, Thams picks at 22. So like, I don't think she falls past that. So when you start to look at the landscape of the draft and how the 3R plays, I think that round 2 is going to be a lot of defenseman run. And with Marty having Marty and whatever forward he drafts, I really don't think that, you got to go D there. So now you're stretching, and now you're taking a guy maybe you take in round 4 and round 2 because that, you're not going to get another stab at this guy in round 3 because you don't have that pick till late. So I think he might end up struggling, but it's going to be interesting to see. So on that note, man, we're going to do the runaround one more time. Any lasting notes? Because here's the thing. Next time you guys will see us, it's going to be for the draft or the pre-draft show, which is this Monday on the 25th. I think the draft's at 9, so the pre-draft is usually an hour before. So we'll do the pre-draft at 8. I think we're going to do 2 panels. So I think the first panel, and I'll have more details as the week goes on. The first panel, I think, is going to be Ability. You're going to be doing both shows, I believe. And then I think the first panel, Pale will be on that. I'll be on that. I'm not sure if Esso is going to be on that panel, Sober may be on that panel, but then we're going to have an actual draft show as well, like we do all the time, where you'll be able to see our draft board, the live up-to-date picks, different things like that. But I will not be on that show. Pill will not be on that show just because we will be taking care of our drafts. And what season was that where we decided to like captain, do media, and have our? It was
Season
4.
four.
So
Yeah.
it was
Awful.
so hard, man. It was so
Misery.
hard because I'm trying to like give analysis, but like I'm like, fuck, this piece of shit just sharked my fucking guy, and like you can't like focus, and so it's tough. So but we'll have the lineup for you. I'll get a post out middle of middle of the weekend. Get you guys all set up for that. But let's send it around the horn. Pale, you got anything on the way out, man?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm excited for the draft. The draft is Monday, and we'll see what happens. We'll see where everybody goes.
Fergie, what do you got, man?
I have a lot. I think the same thing. Looking forward to the draft. Bilal of Small Arms, and thanks everybody for watching the show tonight.
Pale, Schwartz is going to be there on Monday. Are you?
I will be there.
That's what I like to hear. Anything else on the way out or no? Well, all right. How about you, Esso? You got anything on the way out, man?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to my show, the Sober Elitists, Friday nights. We show up when we say we're going to every Friday.
Did you
I
just
can't
cheap
really
plug?
say the same for this fucking show.
Cheap
Excuse me,
plug?
do you have something to say? What?
Did you just cheap plug on my show?
Well, yeah, because this show's not on very often. So, like, I have to, when I get a chance to plug it in, I got to get it in, man. It's not this Friday, but we'll be back next Friday.
Oh, you don't have a show this week?
No.
Oh.
We had
So
one
you're-
last week, though. Did you?
So you're currently tuning in to the longest running episodic show in 239 history with your reigning I can't do it. I said I was going to
You're
do it.
the largest.
Hardest tool in the shed.
Listen, guys, listen. So here's the thing. For everybody who's new to the league, all you new guys who haven't been around, make sure you tune in on Monday. The draft night is quite the thing. A spectacle in itself. We get to do it 3 or 4 times a year, man. It's a cool night. Everybody gets in there. We have our draft. It's awesome. The analysis is great. You get to see a lot of the faces of the league, different things like that. People are obviously in chat box. Abilities talking about Schwartz. Like that's what we do on these nights. So it's going to be exciting. Get ready for it. I know I'm going to be there. I'm going to be ready to go. But other than that, man, until next time we see you, draft night, baby. So until then, I am your host, one of your hosts, X to the D to the A to the L to the Y. This is another edition of Thursday Throwdown. Peace out, guys. We'll see ya.
You.